Hi, Rob Farrell here, and I'm going to look at how to optimize your headings, that's the H1, H2, H3 headings, in a Joomla blog. Now, this might sound a bit obscure, but it is important from Google's point of view. Google likes to see one H1 heading and one H3 heading on a page. And that gives it a nice clear message of what it should be ranking this page for. Now, what we're looking at here is a typical Joomla blog page. We've got the category information, which is a nice H1 heading and an H3 heading, and some text. Not much there, should be a bit more, but you get the general idea. Then we've got on that page a list of blog entries. Now, I've only got one entry in this case, but this blog entry also has a H1 heading and a H3 heading. That's not good for Google. But of course, when we click on Read More, we want to see our article with an H1 and H3 heading there. So what do? There is a very simple solution to this built into Joomla. A lot of people ignore it, unfortunately. And what we do is this. We go into our administration area. We go to the options. This is, by the way, this is Joomla 2.5. The same thing applies in Joomla 1.5, but you'll find the options in a different position, that's all. So if I go to the options here, we've got an item here which says show intro text. So with our blogs, we're going to use intro text to fix our headings. So I'm going to hide the intro text. By default it's show. We'll change it to hide. I'll save that and I'll show you what that does. I'll just refresh this page. If I go read more, there's our article, but we've now got no headings. You might say, well, that's actually the opposite of what we're trying to achieve, which it is, but it's the first step that we need to take. What we now do is we go to our article. I'll open that up. In here you'll see I've set where I want my read more to show, and above it I've got my headings. Now, because I've told Joomla not to display this information on the main content page, only in the summary, I'm going to need to copy that and paste it down in this area here. Otherwise, I have no headings in the main body. So let's save that and see what happens now. That may look a bit strange because we've got our headings and content repeated, but it doesn't show that way on the site. You'll see here's the introduction. I better refresh that. When I click on read more, and there's my article with an H1 heading and H3 heading, just the way Google wants to see it. But we go back to the blog listing and we've still got the problem H1 headings and multiple H1 headings and multiple H3 headings. So our final step is in here. This is the bit that shows on the summaries. We don't want those to be H1 or H3, so I'm just going to change those to H2. Now, in your CSS, you can configure your H2 to look the same as an H1, so you have a nice heading there, and you can make this an H4 if you want, make that look the same as your H3s, so it looks the same. I haven't done this in this case, but that will give you a very consistent feel to the site. So I'm just going to save that and go back to the blog page. We'll refresh that. Now we have an H1 heading, an H3 heading, and some H2 headings. But when we go through to the main page, we have an H1 heading and an H3 heading, just the way Google likes it, and that page will now rank much better as a result.